Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod, and I am your host, Lester Class. Each and every episode is going to be filled with amazing stories from amazing people. You will hear the different journeys people went through, or are still going through, to be able to do what they love. From the failures to the successes and everything in between. This is a place to get to know the person behind their passion, because people only get to see the successes and not what it took to get there. If this is your first time tuning in, please subscribe and leave a review if you love the content. Now finally, I would love to welcome you to the Community Pod. What's going on, everyone? This is your host, Lester Class. This is the Community Pod. Thank you for coming back and watching another episode. Having another amazing guest in the building. I know I say amazing a lot, but it can't get better than this. I got DayMoNay in the building. What's going on?
What's up? It's a pleasure to be here. It's crazy to just, be in the presence with you. I've been watching your shit. It's been dope content, dope topics, real topics. So I'm excited. You're from New Jersey. What's up, Jersey? Stand up. Thank
you for being on here.
Thank you.
So we basically just start off by getting to know you, and so we could just start off with where are you from?
Well, I'm from Jersey. I'm from South Jersey, Burlington County, small place, lit place. From this Jersey area.
Okay, cool. And what was it like growing up in Jersey for yourself?
Well, I wasn't born here. I was born in Tennessee. I was born in the South, but I've been living here the majority of my life. So it was definitely a cultural environment check. Like, you come from the South side, so like scenery's different, like the type of people is different. Like, it was definitely something to get used to. People from Jersey are a lot more fast going, fast paced. Everybody's on the move, everybody's on the run. So people are a lot more, rude. Road rage is crazy out here. But no, the transition was dope because I got into a different culture, like in Jersey. Like, Jersey has its own lane. So when I went here, it was just like the Jersey club thing was big. Like, wasn't listening to that in Tennessee. We don't listen to that stuff. So it was different, like music wise, people wise, environment wise. I mean, lingo, like, we macking, like all that stuff. Like we used to say, it was just dope. So yeah.
And when so growing up, do you feel like you found your passion for music at an early age?
Definitely. I wouldn't say finding it. It was like I was born with it. Like, It was just something that you just instantly just know. Like, you instantly just feel like you're drawn to it. Like, even as a kid, my mom, she would tell me, she was like, like you would just start singing out of nowhere. But my mom would sing like in front of me. Like, I was just around it. So like, my dad did music, like he was a rapper. So I was born into it, like literally born into it.
Cool. So I feel like there's a lot of people that don't grow up with music in their life, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like implementing music at a young age is an amazing thing to do for a child?
Absolutely. And I say that because music is not just for like enjoyment or pleasure. I do feel like it's healing. It's spiritual. So a lot of cultures, I mean, any culture you go to, there's music. Mm-hmm. There's music. Hispanics, the islands, Africans. I mean, every culture, there's music. Mm-hmm. And it has healing. It has healing energy in it. So I think it's very important to incorporate music into a child's life or anybody's life. It's another form of relaxation. It's another form. And plus, music is not always with lyrics. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just an instrumental that can, help with, mental stress, emotional stress. So, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
I'm going to lower your thing just a little bit.
Okay. I'm loud as hell.
Good. All right. I like your energy. I got to say that.
Thank you.
So to continue on, to go back into your childhood, do you feel like, was there ever a point in your life where music has helped you grow?
Yes, because you're growing as a person. So music in general, everybody's telling a story. Everybody's telling something that we can all relate to. We all have emotions, whether we like to hide it or not. Like, music is very, like I was saying, it's emotional, it's spiritual. And even with me being like a kid, like every stage of life and level I was going through, every challenge, there was always a song to match it, to get me through it, to have a different perspective to something that you touch. You know how like when you was younger and that sad Neo song come on, and then like you're in the car and you're like on the window pane and it's raining and you feel like you're in a music video because that's really how you feel.
Yeah.
You just broke up with your girl or you just broke up with your man in high school, and there's songs to like help you with that, to help you cope. Like I feel that way. So yeah, you're always growing as a person, so there's always music to match that growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a great answer, by the way.
Thank you.
To continue on, right? Like growing up with music being implemented and being able to enjoy life through music, do you feel like it's affected you in different ways in your life, where like as to where you are now?
In different ways, like how?
Like you mentioned moments like when you're a child and you start thinking about being in these moments like they do in the music videos and things like that. Where do you feel like music really touched you, where it was just like it was a switch where it was like, I'm gonna be an artist now?
Oh, that would be more so as far as, because when like I feel like when you're born with it, right, I feel like it's a calling, like it's a calling, it's a purpose, it's alignment to like if I'm attracted to this type of aspect, right, then there's music to guide me along that path. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a moment. It was just something I always knew I had. It just needed to be enhanced. It just needed to be nurtured. It needed to mature. It needed to grow. So the inspiration of me becoming an artist, it was just that moment where I had to put life to it. So sometimes when you have something, you don't know how to cultivate that. You don't know how to support that. You don't know how to grow that. So you just know that you have this. Like, okay, I know I can see spirits like when you're young. Like I know I can see angels, but I don't know how to understand this. I don't know how to be one with this. I don't know how to learn about this. So I just know I have it. You know what I mean? So once I got to that point where I knew like this is something that I need to now start growing and really pursuing, that's when, it got to that point.
Okay. So I know I didn't mention in the beginning, but DayMoNay, would you call yourself a rapper? Would that be your title?
No.
No.
And
okay.
the reason why I say that, so I'm like, okay, so you rap, so you're a rapper. I'm a creative that can rap.
I like that. Okay. So to say that, right, when it comes to being a creative that can rap,
yes,
where do you feel like your sound fits when it comes to being an artist?
I'm creating that sound. Yeah, I don't know, because I can't really base it on okay, is it the sound? Is it this wave? I'm creating my wave. I'm creating my sound. I think being a jack of all trades or being a jack of box is really cool. I think that I don't think there's a limit to this. There's no limit to being a creative. Like we're constantly getting inspiration and connecting with this and do it. It's infinite. It's infinite. It's just, you can't really put a cap on it. No cap.
I don't think you could have said that better, honestly.
Thank you.
So when you became an artist, right? How did you find your sound?
How did I find my sound? How did I find my sound? So I got inspirations.
Okay.
Inspirations. I definitely have inspirations. I mean, I love Janae. I love Tink. I love Dage Loaf. By the way, y'all sleeping on her. Dage Loaf. I have certain influences and inspirations that have also carried me through this path of music. And you're always growing in music too. Like you're not gonna sound like you did 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You're always evolving. So the good thing about being a creative is that you can also you can take from things and then make your path with it. Like, oh wow, that I like how they did that. Okay, inspiration comes. You see, influence then come. So I don't know. I don't have really any sound that I could compare it to. But I have flows. And even though flows are still creating another flow, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's kind of like that.
Okay. And so where did the name come from?
Oh, that's my actual birth name.
DayMoNay is your actual birth name?
Yes. Yes.
That's actually like really quite. That's a super cool name.
Yes. My mom was extra as fuck. Her name, she mixed her name and my dad's name together, and somehow she got DayMoNay. So, and apparently it's French. Bonjour.
Really?
Yeah.
That's super dope. I thought it would, like a lot of, artists, they make their name, and
right.
for that to be that's insane. That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
So to continue on, right? Like, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to be a creative, whether that's in being an artist or just having a passion, wanting to pursue it?
Know who you are. Know who you are. Be confident in yourself. Be confident in that. Root yourself deeply, because a lot of times as creatives, a lot of people put their hands in the pot. And what I mean by that is a lot of people have a lot to say, and words hold weight. They do. As much as we like, words can't hurt me, but they do. They do. And it's to the point it goes subconsciously, and now we're acting out of that by hindering ourselves, and we're not meeting our full potential because of those things, because of those words. You see what I'm saying? So it's really about, as a creative, it's really about knowing who you are and being strong in that, and no matter if anybody says anything, if you know deep down inside that this is coming from your soul, follow it, because you're only doing yourself an injustice if you don't. You're always going to feel like the cup was never full. It was always half full. You didn't there was something missing. And a lot of times you always get the people that didn't do that. I shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say to any creatives out there. Like, believe in yourself 100%. 100%. And I'm looking at this camera because I want everybody to feel that. We all work jobs. We all work 9 to 5s, and that's okay. That is okay. But understand that whatever you love and whatever you want to do, follow that. Support that. Invest in that. I don't care if your mom's not behind you. I don't care if anybody's not supporting you financially. You do it. It's all on you. You got this. So.
I gotta ask you. What is something you pride yourself on? In music or just life in general?
Explain that to me.
So, something I like. You want to give an example? So I pride myself on being as real as I possibly can be.
Okay.
I pride myself on never lying and being true, and allowing the person next to me, or the person that asks me a question, to understand that I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you're an amazing person. That way, you're good at what you do. I'm going to tell you need to tweak things. Things like that. Something that you pride yourself on and makes you who you are.
Okay. I always like to pride myself on being transparent. 100% every time. Conversation wise, like being as transparent as possible, because when you have transparency, it allows for the space just to be free. And when you're free, I feel like that kind of like influence other people to want to be free too. You see what I'm saying? So I really try to remind myself in any of my interactions with people just to be as transparent as possible, like be as comfortable as possible, and to stay present. Yeah, I feel like we're in our heads a lot, so being present is vital too. So.
I would love for you to get into that, because I feel like some people, like you said, they can never live for now, that they're too busy worried about tomorrow or the next day, which is fine. But if you are obsessing over it, it can be a lot. So if you can go a little bit into that, and why is it so important?
Yeah. I feel like, with our minds, like the way our minds operate and stuff, like I feel like, we put too much on ourselves, subconsciously, that we don't know how to consciously be here. Right? Because we're subconsciously doubting, even in the interviews, right? Like I could be subconsciously stressing over the fact that I didn't do my nails today. Right. So I'm focusing on something that's hindering me from just being here, from being present. It's like, you know what, fuck it. Okay, my nails aren't done, cool, but I got a tough ass outfit on. You see what I'm saying? So allowing ourselves to validate yourself in these moments, in these, just being here, being aware, being, like I said before, like knowing who you are, like, and being proud and okay about that, which will allow you to be present. Like, being present is very important. It's, we put too much on ourselves. We worry about too much. And I say that because when you give things life, it's going to be that. If you give that bad thought life, it's going to play out, So be here. And it's just, be here. Just be here. And that's the important part, you know.
I have to ask, right? Have you always been this ball of energy? Have you always had this energy because I feel like this is what I'm getting from you, right?
Right.
I'm getting that from sitting here next to you, I'm happy. I'm able to be relaxed, talk to you, feel comfortable.
Right.
And I get that just by the energy that you're giving off.
Yeah.
So have you always been like that?
Growth. And it goes always back to that growing part, right? Like, I was not talking like this, bro. I was not. And I shock myself sometimes because it when you're constantly attending to yourself, you realize how we're all like not doing that. And it's so important. Self-care is so important. Please, self-care is so important. Because me and who I was 5 years ago was not me who I am now. I wasn't talking like this. I wasn't the energy. Like, I was on a different level of life. You know what I'm saying? So once I started attending to myself, nurturing myself, started working on those mental health, start going back to those childhood traumas, childhood issues, and, the codependency, all those things. When you start really attending to your roots, then you're going to grow the way you need to. So, this is growth number level 10. Let's just say that for right now, because I'm always evolving.
Gotcha. Okay. And so to basically say, like, you weren't always like this.
No.
There was growth, right?
No, yeah.
For people that may have been in this or may be in the same situation that you were once in, where maybe not a shell of a person, but too shy to really be who you were.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people that are afraid to be their true selves?
Spend time with yourself. Spend time with yourself. Because when you do and you knock out like all the noise around you and you hear your thoughts, not everybody else's thoughts, because sometimes people's words become your thoughts. Those are not your thoughts. When you start really talking to yourself in the way that you need to, you then start to walk that way. You start to think that way. You start to talk that way. No, why are you telling yourself that? Why are you telling your, like, if you really think about it, like, it sounds crazy to tell yourself out loud, I'm stupid, right? Or I'm dumb, or I'm ugly. Like, but we think this though, subconsciously, like we feel, because we're thinking that. So to say it out loud, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be like, why am I saying this to myself? Why? So if you're doing that, you're not growing. You're not allowing yourself to grow. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you then start nurturing yourself, you start watering, put it in the sun, saying good thoughts, saying good things about yourself, you then start walking and talking like that. So then you start to come out of that shell. You start to, okay, no, I don't have to do that. I don't have to feel validated from that, because I already validated myself. So yeah. Okay.
To get right now, so we're gonna get a little bit more in the music aspect, right? All right. So I know that you're part of the team FOF.
Yes, family over friends.
So what was it like joining this group with the amazing producer that you have back here?
Yes. So I met Felipe as a producer just through like a meet and greet. Like, it was really on some just casual, just everybody that was around was some kind of creative, music, art, whatever. And by the way, let me just piggyback on this. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Okay, there's so many just benefits from that, because you get yourself in doors. You see what I'm saying? By creating genuine relationships. So start surrounding yourself with people that are on your type time. It really does help, because everybody is on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're feeding me, I'm feeding you. It's just constant like growth. You're elevating, I'm elevating. So yeah, I wanted to say that. But I'm sorry, what was the question again?
So what was the experience with joining the team FOF?
Yes. So
and meeting your amazing producer?
Yes. So it was just casual. Like he found out I was a music artist, and then boom, we hit it off. Boom, okay, I do beats. What's up? And it was crazy because he was playing his beats, and I didn't know who it was, and I thought it was a YouTube beat. And I was with my sister at the time, and my sister knows I rap, and she was looking at me like, you gonna freestyle? You gonna say some shit? I'm like, I don't know, but this be hard. So she's like, so she started it off, and I'm like, okay. So, and it was his beat, so it was just genuine. Like, it was just genuine. It was natural. You know what I mean? And ever since then, we just kept building. Like we just kept reaching out to other artists. Like, this is our dream. This is the vision, and I fucked with the vision, and I'm a part of that vision, and that's a like-minded right there working together. So
okay, so I know we spoke a little bit off camera, but what is FOF?
Family over friends, and that to me is that family doesn't always have to be blood, and I say that because a lot of people think that because it's family that it feels like family. And that's not always the case. Your family can be anybody. Friends, neighbor. It could be anybody. Anybody can take that position as family. So that's really what it is. Like, we're not blood related, but we are family. And we treat each other that way. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. And to continue on, I wanted to ask, what is one of the most difficult parts about like coming out as an artist, and what is the one of how do I say this? One of your favorite things about when you came out as an artist?
Difficult, and then my favorite things. There's a lot of difficult things about being an upcoming artist at that in New Jersey. But the difficult, I would have to say, the just keeping yourself motivated to keep going, not losing yourself in that, and I say that because a lot of these like careers, right, in the creative world, a lot of people would like to shun it because it's not promising, it's not guaranteed, and that's why a lot of times you don't have the support that you want from your family because they don't look as it to be a guaranteed thing, right? So it's difficult to keep that love and motivation when it feels like you're the only one, that no one's really seeing it how you're seeing it, and no one's really feeling it how you're feeling it. That's why I said before, like, it's gonna take you to do that. That's those difficult moments is reminding yourself that it's gonna take you to do that. What I would have to say, yeah. And the favorite parts of being an artist is that I get to inspire people, and I get to influence people, and I get to do that by doing what I naturally love to do, and that speaks measures for me. That this is beyond just the physical part of music, but or the physical things about being an artist, like having to pay for things and music videos and stuff like that. But it's the spiritual part of it that is much more rewarding than any money or anything like that could be. So yeah.
Okay. And I wanted to go. I wanted to go back a little bit to the difficult part, right? So there's a lot of people, and I feel like that don't realize they're looking from the outside, right? Looking in on our lives, on lives of creatives, and they may have a family member who's pursuing their dream, and they're not 100% on it, not because they don't think they can do it. It's about the fact that they're scared that they only want the best for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they believe that the best for them isn't that, just because it isn't a guarantee. I don't usually ask this, but it is something that I feel like it should be addressed. What would you advise these individuals who have a family member that is doing something like us, whether it's an artist, a painter, a tattoo artist, a barber, whatever it is, what advice would you give that family member or those people who are worried about that person pursuing something that may be risky?
Now, am I giving advice to the person that's trying to tell the person?
You're giving advice. So I've never flipped the question before. I usually say give advice to the person who's going through the opinions and how to take them, right?
Right.
That's usually how
the
I
creative.
ask. Yes, that's how I usually do it. But you're such a ball of energy, right?
I'm the family member.
Yes, you're the family member, and you're giving advice to the people who are afraid of what could possibly happen to the person who's taking that risk.
Oh, okay, got you.
I've never asked it before, but I feel like
Got
you would be
you.
able to be able to answer it perfectly.
Got you. I like that. I really do. And what you're doing is you're like changing the shoe on the other feet, right? So for me, I have family members. I have like little cousins that want to do what I'm doing. And knowing that, right? Because I can only speak from experience, but knowing that, I would tell them that just because it's not promising doesn't mean that you can make that promise. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need exterior things to tell you that this is promising.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You can make it a promise to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be me worrying that, hey, you need to watch out for these things. It would just be me. It would be me telling that person, like, just play it smart.
Mm-hmm.
Play it smart. Play it smart. Nurture it. Play it smart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get so caught up on the things that's telling you that it's not promising.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Keep focus on the target.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. I don't know if that answered your
No, you answered my question. I also wanted you to, if possible, give advice to the people that are worried about them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say that for example, I could give you an example
Right.
where I have family members that are looking at me as a podcaster and going,
Yeah.
you're not gonna make it, or that it's not possible, or I'm scared that you should just go get a stable job.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to those people being so worried about it? Just like
to change your perspective on it. Yeah. Change your perspective on it. Change. I don't know why we go to fear. Like our automatic response is like if we don't see the outside of what this could possibly be, we automatically think it's a danger zone. It's a hazard. It's warning signs. No, I think you don't want to do that. But it's fear, and I would say to them like, okay, I wouldn't get upset that they would feel that way, because it's okay to feel concerned because of the way this operates it's going to look like it's not promising, right? The way that it is. But I would just tell them to try to understand why this person wants to do this so bad. And not only that, but change the conversation around that. It's nothing. It's not bad to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because things do happen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, as creatives, we fail more than we were going to fall. Like, we fail a lot, and people don't think that on the flip side of the coin. They just see the finishing product. People don't see that process. They don't see that process. So when they don't see that process, it's fear. Because how many people really do make it in this aspect? So that's what they see. That's the only thing they see. So that fear comes in. Don't do that. No. You probably want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And nothing's wrong with college. I'm not downplaying college, but I'm just saying, like, I would say understand why that person wants to do it, and then find another way to have a conversation with that person, because you don't want to deter somebody from something that they're internally wanting to do. I think we just need to change the narrative, the conversation of how we express our concerns to people. That's what I would say.
No, and I also wanted to get you mentioned college, right? A lot of people go and they say the norm is to go to college. The reason is it's not that we're downplaying, because I do this. I'm a college student,
right,
and I know that when people say that, it's not because they're downplaying college. It's the fact that is the normal.
Yeah.
Like a parent, when they think of you as growing up, it's school, college, job.
Yeah.
When you go school, I want to do this. It's like, relax. You didn't go. You didn't do what was supposed to happen.
Right.
So it's not that we're downplaying college. It's the fact that everybody takes a different route.
Yes.
Everybody makes it in their own way.
Yes.
So you can go to college and be successful.
Yes.
You can also go to college and not be successful.
Yes.
Things happen.
Yes.
Everybody has their own path. So
exactly.
I wanted to clear that up for you, and as well as all the other people that answer that way, because it's not we're downplaying college. It's the fact that everyone has a different route, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's the fact that it is a normal. College is a normal. College is this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you don't do.
Yes,
and that's how you do it.
Yes, can I piggyback just real quick?
Yeah, of course.
I love how you said that. I think a lot of people need to understand that individualism is a thing, and that traditions. There's been a system placed, right? We all know, we go to school, we do, like you said, just in that exact order. Even when it comes to that, like, you find the guy, you get married, you have the kid, and, live every, fairy tale. But we forget that, that it's really hard to try to place everybody in that box, because everybody is different. That's like, and this is just something that I personally feel, but like the standardized test, you're putting 500, 600 kids and telling them to, pass this one test, but you're forgetting that all these kids don't learn the same way. All these kids, but doesn't mean that they can't succeed. Doesn't mean that they can't, doesn't mean that they're dumb. Doesn't mean that they're, that they can't retain, the information. You know what I'm saying? There's different people learn different, and that's why I feel like, it shouldn't be so pressed on, to the point where it's now like making people rethink things. But it needs to be an open conversation of just allowing a person to do what they really want to do, even if it comes off scary, that's okay, as for parents, because you want the best for your kids, or anybody that wants the best for you, but understand, like I said, have that conversation with that person to know, like, okay, I don't have to put this person in the box, because you don't. We're all different. We're all different. You may color this way, I may color this. You may see green, I may see blue. Okay, but we love colors. You know what I'm saying? so it's just accepting people and they're different in their journey. Yeah. In their journey.
And I gotta say that I completely agree on the standardized test. I know that we we could
right,
like thing, but
make it make sense.
Yeah, because it's not fair. We could be here all day talking about it. It's just not fair. The fact that students, you only look at one test, but they took so many during their time in high school. And then the fact is, not everybody's good at tests. You could be smart as fuck and not be good at tests.
Exactly.
So we could be on that all day. But to get back into it, you said that everything perfectly. I also love the way that you mentioned like a couple, because the normal is you date, you go and you get married, then you have children. Yes. There are people that have children and then they get married. There's also people that move in with each other before they get married, and that is looked at differently than other people. So it's a system that was put in place to make us do the same thing over and over again. But once we step away from the path, it's just like, what are you doing? Exactly. Kind of thing. So you put the, that's a weird saying, but you put the needle on the donkey or something like that.
The tail on the donkey.
But yeah, so like to continue on, when it comes to music, right? I feel like you said, you're a creative. You like to do different aspects. Yes. Is there an avenue or a genre that you haven't touched upon yet that you want to?
Can I say this? I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I don't care. I really want to tap into rock. That's like fire. Alternative rock. Like I R.I.P. But I used to fuck with Linkin Park.
Okay.
I fucked with Linkin Park. But I pretty much like can do all genres. I really want to tap into rock. I really do. Like just get into an energy and a vibe, and go crazy. Do some different shit.
Okay. And that's super cool because that I've never actually heard that before, and I think that's super cool because rock is I got some fucking knowledge. But rock is such a different genre compared to, and it's not as I don't want to say, it's definitely something that I haven't tapped into very much. When I was younger, I was getting into very like hardcore metal, like
right. Like,
do you know Disturbed? That's like an older group. No, well, Metallica and stuff like that.
Okay.
But stuff like that, like those are the hardcore metal and whatever it is. But like there's certain niches for everybody. You know what I mean? Yes. And the fact that you're able to tap into, I'm trying to touch all niches. Exactly. Because once you're able to do that, there's not a lot of artists that do that. They stick to one thing and they keep it like that. Yes. To name someone, we don't have to be there for all day, but one individual that is slowly on the decline, I think he might be a little going up now, but he was famous for the Baby. Same sound for a very long time. And when he did decide to switch it up, it wasn't good. So he stuck and it just wasn't great. That's why he's.
And what genre did you think that or what was said that didn't stuck or didn't stick.
From him?
Mm-hmm.
Like what genre?
Mm-hmm. Or what niche he was trying to
Rap.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Wait, no, go ahead.
No, I was just asking. So yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't moved. He hasn't done nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're tapping into all these different things
Absolutely.
that a lot of artists aren't trying to do.
Absolutely.
I want to mention an artist to you after this that I think you guys would work very well together.
Oh.
So I'll definitely give you his name and everything. He's super
absolutely.
dope.
I love networking.
Yeah.
Yes, network, guys. Network. It's important.
I was just about to get into that. So networking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that's gotten you, or for you to be able to do what you're doing now?
Hell yes, 100% yes. I think people downplay it on how much this requires to network. Like, especially if you're an upcoming artist, how do you think people get to where they are? It's literally, I mean, yeah, you got, business and all those things and, social media, but you literally have to network. You have to make these connections. And, because I mean, music, being a creative in general, you're interacting with the people. Mm-hmm. Regardless, whatever it is, creative wise, you're interacting with the people. You're getting the people, because we're as creatives, we're painting. We're artists, and anything that we're doing, we're artists. We're painting a picture for people to love, for people to admire what's coming from here. So, people in general is involved in this networking. So you can't run away from it. You got to do it. I know, being shy, I had to overcome it. And this is why we grow, people, because like you then start unlocking opportunities. And when you start to see that because you opened your mouth, you started knowing how to use this, really, your throat chakra, like know how to use that, know how to be heard, know how to captivate the room, the energy, and really just speak. And genuine, like it's just genuine. It don't have to be forced. Like it's just genuine. It's just being a part of the conversation, because you don't know where that conversation can put you at. You don't know, just based off of the impression that you have on somebody, it could put you in a room that you didn't have to spend money in. Seriously, like it's so important. It's so important.
And I wanted to so this is an aspect that I don't enjoy getting into, but I feel like it's a reality when it comes to, being a woman in an industry like music.
Yeah.
The reason I don't like getting into it is because I feel like it shouldn't be there.
Right.
When like women get treated differently in a lot of different aspects, especially in podcasting, like we were talking before.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it is harder to be a woman artist in the music industry, or has it changed over time?
Is it harder? An aspect of like getting into
I guess
the
like
industry?
the treatment that you may receive.
The treatment, okay. Yes. Yeah. And it sucks it does suck to say, unfortunately, because we are women. And it's this music industry is male predominant. It's a male industry, so women are seen to work harder. And with that, a lot aren't taken seriously. And it's unfortunate, because as a woman, you want to be able to just as much, dominate what you do, and that can come off competitive to a lot of males. That can come off intimidating. But it really just needs to be respected.
Okay. And no, perfect.
Period.
And then I wanted to ask, what advice would you give to a woman who's trying to get into an industry, whether that's music or even just trying to pursue a passion of theirs that they may receive treatment that they don't deserve?
What would I say? I would say to don't allow anyone to make you feel who you aren't. Don't allow anyone to take anything from you, whether that's confidence, and stand in who you are. Stand in that 100%. Solidness. Just stand in who you are. Mean what you say what you mean. And be clear. Be clear. Be clear. Be open. And yeah, fuck them. like fuck them, you know. And I have to say that because a lot of women, we were seen a certain way, you know, in certain cases, in certain situations, in certain environments, and a lot of the times, you know, you get already judged. You already get judged straight off rip. You already judged. Oh, you're a female that does music. Like it's you just get judged. So know who you are. I think that's the main thing, is to know who you are for real, like really. And yeah, just move that way.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So to get into like, I gotta say, I want to ask about performing because I've seen the videos on your Instagram and you're very energetic, like you are here. So like, how are you able to do it? Well, let's start off with your first performance. How was your first performance?
It was great. This is what we were talking about earlier about Atlanta. That was actually like my first performance was in Atlanta. So, and I man, when I tell you, like, it's one thing to be in a studio and like have that comfortability because you're with yourself and the people that you want to be there, but it's another thing to actually put that into play. And like, performing is an aspect of being an artist that people don't understand until you actually know what to do, until you get into that position where you're in front of an entire crowd that's looking at you. And for me, that a person that, you know, had anxiety and has anxiety sometimes, you have to learn how to take that under control when you're performing. So imagine a person with anxiety that was shy has to perform. But I love music and I want the people to hear it, but I know I have to do this. So performing was nerve-wracking, but I just went in. It's almost like when you know that this is what you want to do and it's in here, it's like once you get in front of those people, it's like, no, this is what I came here to do. Like, this is what I want them to hear. This is me. This is who I am. It's time to do that. Fuck this shit up. And that's how you gotta talk to yourself. Like, you literally have to tell yourself as you're going up to that stage, as you're introducing yourself as the artist, you're telling yourself as you're doing this, like, you got this. You're doing great. Do what you gotta do. Rock this stage. Seriously. So yeah, performing was a success. Like, people after the performance, like, I had to take this big deep exhale because I'm like, yo, I just really did that. Like, I just really did that. And then the reaction from that made it even what's the word I'm looking for?
A better feeling?
Yeah, like it was like a, I wouldn't say validation, but in some kind of form, like, this is what I need to be doing. Because look at the reaction that I'm getting. Look at the people that is coming to me after I'm performing. Hey, what's your Instagram? That shit was hard. What is this? What is that? So yeah, definitely it was a success and I loved it. And ever since then I've been performing.
And I know that when you say validation, you use the right word. Okay. It's not that you were looking for validation from people. You got validation from the fact that your passion.
Yes.
You got validation that was like, this is really what I love to do, and it's I saw it. It happened, and I'm so happy I did it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
that was
you
dope.
use it. To continue on, right? We are getting close to the end.
Okay.
I do ask these questions to all my guests, but is there anything that we haven't discussed yet that you want to talk about? If not, then we could just continue going on.
I have one.
Okay.
Yeah. Support.
Okay.
I want to dive in that. I want to dive into that. Actually, since we're talking about support, y'all go support right now. That's my new single. It is out on all platforms. You can get it on Pandora, Apple Music, Spotify. So go stream that. But support. So when people think, okay, so there's levels of support. I want to make that clear. I think sometimes people be like, oh, I'm supporting. But there's levels of support. And there's also, I think support is also subjective too. Meaning, like, you may like to be support in a certain way, you know, that somebody might not consider support into their eyes. So I also feel like support is subjective. But I also do feel like that, you know, we think that because we're not getting support from the people you want to support you, that we're not good, or it's bad that we're doing, or whatever you're doing is bad, or, you know, even if I like music, like, if nobody was supporting me, subconsciously you're saying to yourself, like, maybe my music's not good, but the world hasn't heard your music yet. the world hasn't heard your music yet. Just because the people around you are showing you, and sometimes people, it just takes that and people just stop. They just stop because just that one experience they had, it was just like, well, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, or maybe I'm ass or whatever. But you limit yourself right there. Keep going, keep spreading. And I promise you, somebody's going to love your music. Somebody's going to love and see what the art that you're putting out. You're not the only one. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the questions.
Go ahead.
All right. So the first one is going to be, what is the meaning of life to you?
What is the meaning of life to me? Wow. What is the meaning of life? Asking deep questions. What is the meaning of life? I would have to say the meaning of life would have to be love. I know it sounds weird. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I feel like life in general has a lot to do with loving you. Because we have life in us, right? We're breathing, we're walking, we're talking. That's life. We're experiencing life. Trees, plants, air, oxygen, life. And I feel like that's all from love, a place of love. I don't want to get into like religion or anything, but I'm a big believer of God. So I do believe that, life is a part of love and love is a part of life. And I feel like as long as we learn to love life, we can start to live.
That was deep. I like that was a perfect answer. To continue on, what is it that wakes you up every morning to do what you do? What is it that inspires you?
What wakes me up? I love these questions because, oh my goodness. What wakes me up to do what I do? I would have to say, the fact that I'm waking up and doing what I'm doing and I keep waking up, that means I have purpose. So that's what keeps me going, because I'm waking up every day. We can't control when we wake up or not. So the fact that God is allowing me to wake up every day, because, people die every day. And I don't want to get all, dark or anything. But, death is one thing that is promised. So tomorrow's not promised, and which goes back to being present. So when I'm being present and I'm living my life, I think that God's waking me up every day. So that means I'm supposed to be doing something. I have purpose.
Okay.
I have purpose. So that's what wakes me up and keeps me doing this.
All right. I just started implementing this question with my newer guest, because I feel like sometimes I go and say it at every podcast, so you guys are going to hear this a few times. But a lot of people usually ask you, what advice would you give to your younger self, right? But I think it's way more important because you already been through that. You're young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what advice can you give them? You already know what's happened.
Yeah.
But I want you to give a message to your future self. What would you tell your future self?
I like that. What would I tell my future self? You made every choice the right choice, which is why we are here today. And I thank you for that. And what I would also tell my future self is, don't doubt yourself. Understand and understand that you got here because you made the right choices. Not the smart choices, but the right choices. So.
Okay. Last but not least, what do you want the world to know about DayMoNay?
Oh, man. I got some dope music coming out, which kind of dives into how I am. I kind of call myself a crybaby gangster. I'm a Pisces, by the way. So from people know that Pisces are like emotional. But we're really gangsters, though. And people, that throws them off guard because like we come off this genuine, soft, like spiritual, loving people. But then you see the other side and it's like, okay, I see. But no, I'm ready to let people hear what I have to offer. I think a lot of people are going to be able to taste all the flavors of the rainbow. And I don't care if you don't like Skittles. But yeah, that's what I would want them to know. And that I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to put Jersey on. Shout out to Jersey. We got to stand up. It's going to be great. 2023 is just the only beginning of a lot of greatness to come.
Okay.
So.
All right. Last but not least, the podcast is over, but this is the now time for you. The camera's all yours. If there's anything you want to say, anything you got going on, this is the moment.
Okay. This is your girl, DayMoNay. I have a single called Right Now. It is on all platforms. Go stream that shit right now. Like, literally, it's called Right Now, so go do that, like, right now. And I'm working on a EP. It's called Unbothered. And I can't wait to show you guys, to give you a taste of what I have to offer as music. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Right, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This was an honor. Like, seriously, this is dope. I love what you got going on. I support everything that you got going on, and nothing but great doors to open for you. So keep going.
Thank you so much. And the pleasure's all mine.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. I get to meet amazing people every time that I step into this podcast
Absolutely.
studio. So it's a blessing to be able to do this and to continue to do it. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I also wanted to say, I know this podcast might be up for a little while, but I am creating a playlist for all my artists.
Okay.
All the artists that have been on the podcast, I'm creating a playlist for where all the artists are going to be on them.
Awesome.
So since this is going to be a little while, I'm going to have definitely a lot of artists by the time this comes out. So if you guys want that to be released, I'll release it. If not, I'm going to gatekeep it, and I'm going to have and I'm going to listen to good music all the time, and y'all can't listen to it. But I'm going to go ahead and end it off. Thank you so much for being here. This is the Community Pod. I'm your host, Lester Class. Thank you so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Leave post notifications. Leave a comment. Leave a like. And leave a comment if there's anything that you liked from the podcast. If you're watching on any audio platform, please leave a review. It allows other people to find my podcast. For the people that are new here, welcome to the Community Pod. Last but not least, for the people that have been sticking around watching every single episode, thank you. And I hope that y'all continue to enjoy the content. We're not going anywhere. We built this community together. Thank you so much. And we're out. Peace.
Bye. That was awesome.